How to avoid car sickness. If you get carsick, you most likely dread every single extended road trip. It can negatively affect your commute or fun activities with friends. Car sickness is just one kind of motion sickness or kinetosis that some experience when they're riding in an automobile. Dizziness, fatigue, cold sweats, and nausea are common symptoms of car sickness. So how do you go about preventing car sickness in the first place? Use some simple tips and tricks to enjoy the ride, sickness-free. Changing the way you travel. Sit in the front seat of a car. Doctors believe that motion sickness is caused by a conflict between what your eyes are seeing and how your body is interpreting the motion of a vehicle, which uses signals originating in your inner ear to sense balance. Driving the car yourself has the added benefit of giving you something to focus on, which can distract you from your sickness. 4. Focus your eyes on the horizon. Having a fixed visual point in front of you will help keep your eyes, inner ear, and nerves in check. If you are in control of the vehicle, be sure that you are paying attention to the road and surrounding cars as well as to the horizon in front of you. Keep cool. Having a cool, well-ventilated atmosphere can help mitigate car sickness as well as alleviate symptoms such as sweating and nausea. If you can, crack the car windows open to create a cross breeze. Alternatively, you can turn on the car's air conditioning. Point the air vents at your face to get the most benefit. Ventilation can also help reduce food odors in the car. Car sickness can be exacerbated by strong food odors. 7. Stabilize your head. It can sometimes be hard to keep your eyes focused on a single point when you are in a bouncing, bumpy car. To stabilize your vision, make sure your head is stabilized too. Rest it against the headrest behind you to keep it still. A neck pillow might also help you keep your head, and therefore your vision, steady. Take frequent breaks. Go outside to stretch your legs. Sit on a bench or under a tree and take some deep breaths in through your mouth to help relax. This is especially important during journeys that involve a long distance of curvy roads. Not only does stopping frequently help alleviate car sickness, but it is also good for the driver to take a break every once in a while. Resume driving when you feel alert and when your dizziness and nausea pass. Try to nap. Sleeping through your motion sickness can also work wonders for car passengers. You won't be aware of the differences between your visual information and the signals your body is sending because your eyes will be closed. Many people find that sleeping is the best way to get through a long car trip without motion sickness. If you have trouble napping in the car, consider using a form of sleep aid. If you use a sleep aid, however, you have to be certain that you will not be needed to drive at any point during the trip. Focus on something else. Distractions are a great way to decrease car sickness, especially for children or those who have to ride in the backseat. Take your mind off of your dizziness and nausea by listening to music, singing, or playing a game of 20 questions with your fellow passengers. Put down the books, phones, and devices. Car sickness is worsened when you are concentrating on a visual object that is within the car instead of outside the car. Staring at a book, a phone game, a Kindle, or a tablet can heighten the mismatch between your eyes and the rest of your body. To prevent car sickness, make sure the only objects you focus your eyes on are outside of the car, on the horizon in front of you. There are many people who experience car sickness only when reading in the car. Make sure this doesn't happen to you. Audiobooks, the car radio, and CDs are a great way to be entertained in the car without causing car sickness. Breathe deeply. Car sickness is made worse by feelings of anxiety and nervousness. Relaxation techniques such as slow, deliberate breathing exercises can help you slow your heart rate and relax your body, making it less likely that you will experience symptoms of motion sickness. Avoid bumpy roads. The smoother your ride, the less likely you are to experience car sickness. Ways to smooth out your ride include driving on highways instead of stop-and-go city streets and making sure your car has up-to-date shocks. Driving at off-peak times can also help prevent getting stuck in stop-and-go traffic. Buy a motion sickness wristband. A motion sickness wristband provides gentle, constant pressure to your forearm, about 1 inch from your wrist joint. This pressure is supposed to help alleviate the nausea caused by motion sickness. While anti-nausea wristbands haven't been scientifically proven to be useful, they are relatively cheap and have no negative side effects. If you do not own a motion sickness wristband, you can apply gentle pressure on your forearm between the two tendons about 3 cm roughly an inch or so back from the wrist joint. Consider alternative forms of transportation. Some people who experience car sickness also experience motion sickness in other vehicles, such as trains, buses, and planes. Some people, however, only experience motion sickness in the car. Trains, buses, and planes might be viable forms of transit. These other vehicles may be a better option because they are able to provide a smoother ride, are less likely to confuse your eyes, and allow you to sit higher up in your seat. It is helpful to find the most stable seats on these alternative forms of transit. Make sure your seat is facing the direction in which you are traveling. Do not choose a backwards-facing seat. Sit towards the front of trains and buses. Choose a wing seat on an airplane. You are less likely to be bounced around in these seats. 15. For shorter distances, walking or biking might allow you to avoid the car altogether.